had to go through dealing with lack of supply, building it back up, pumping, traveling with breast milk, cracked nipple, pain, not latching, sore nipples, and everything. And how my breast milk was almost seized at Heathrow Airport in London. Hi. So this week, the world is celebrating Breastfeeding Week, a time to celebrate mothers, to raise support and awareness for breastfeeding, for mothers who are actively breastfeeding or mothers who tried to breastfeed and couldn't, or are still wanting, or intended mothers who are still wanting to breastfeed. This is an opportunity for me to share my breastfeeding journey and tell my story publicly for the first time. If you know me, maybe I have shared with you and I've done a little bit of advocacy for you, but publicly, this will be the first time I'm sharing my breastfeeding journey. And it is one that was riddled with a lot of joy, love, cries, a lot of pain, and there were so many things I wish that I knew going into breastfeeding as a mother, which I hope to share in this video and help someone out there who is looking forward to breastfeed. Before we get into all that, if you know me, you know that I have 3 children and I breastfed my 3 children. First 6 months exclusively, and then I breastfed them each for at least 18 months. In short, my last baby, who just turned 2 in May, I breastfed him until he was 2 years old. That was a personal decision, which I will come to, maybe to some of the factors that helped me, make that decision. But just as a disclaimer, this is not a guide, it is not a lecture, it is not in any way trying to preach something. This is just me sharing my story, just love to myself and hopefully by extension to you, hoping that it can motivate somebody or it can help you if you're dealing with what I went through, just helping to break the silence. Because one of the things I found when I was going through my breastfeeding journey, especially the first time, was that there were a lot of women who had gone through what I went through, but they were not just sharing that information. So that is what I'm trying to do here, to encourage you, to support you, to help you if you want to breastfeed. I hope that it helps. So, why did I breastfeed, or how did I decide I was going to breastfeed? First of all, I watched my mother. We are 4 children. I have 3 siblings, and my mother breastfed us all. So, as the first child, I got to see her do it when I was a little older with I think last 2 births, my last 2 siblings. I got to watch her go through exclusive breastfeeding. I got to help, I got to watch the whole process, and it just brought me a lot of joy. And I can't say if back then when I was about 10 years old, when I decided I was going to breastfeed, but it definitely played a huge part in my decision to breastfeed. So when I got pregnant for my first child, it was a no-brainer, right? No-brainer. I thought, yes, I'm definitely going to breastfeed. I'm going to do 6 months exclusive breastfeeding, and as much as I can, I will breastfeed for 2 years at least. There was no pressure. But then, brothers and sisters, or mostly sisters, I didn't know what I was signing up for. Because, of course, when you see all those beautiful pictures, especially for the advertorials that they do about breastfeeding, you see the baby cuddled up, well cradled to the mother, and the mother is looking into the eye of the child, and it's looking all lovey-dovey and beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. But the process itself, especially the beginning, it's a lot. There's a lot of pain and a lot of crying. And again, let me just say that this is all my experience, right? There are people who had it a little different. There are people who had it much better than I did, but I'm sharing my experience. Because what I found out, especially with my first pregnancy, when I was dealing with breastfeeding problems, I realized that a lot of people, a lot of my friends had gone through similar situations. And when I mentioned to them, they said, oh yeah, I experienced that with my second child. I'm like, what? You did? How come I don't know about this? So there's a lot of silence, which of course goes with a lot of the things that we women go through in childbirth and postpartum. But that's why I just took it upon myself and decided that no, I'm not going to be part of that silence anymore. And that is part of why I'm sharing this story, to just encourage you and share what I experienced, how I felt, what I went through, and the joy that it ultimately brought me. I mean, I breastfed my last baby. I just weaned my last baby in May, and the joy is immense. I got made fun of by my friends because at a point my last child will bring a chair and tell me to sit down to breastfeed him, right? I was made fun of, I was laughed at, but it was something that brought me immense joy, which I enjoy thoroughly. So I hope that this series, this is going to be, I hope, 5 or 6 part series. I'm going to talk about my first few days of breastfeeding. I'm going to talk about the days of cracked nipples and all the joys of pain and cry and moments that my mother thought I shouldn't go on. Oh my God. Wow, it was a lot. Especially the first time. It was a whole lot because I'm going to share that story. My mother at some point gave up on me because of the pain. I know, when you see your child is in pain, you can't help, you can't take it away. It's a lot. But let me not get all that away. So I'm just going to basically spill all the tea, or everything that you've not heard. So if you're planning to breastfeed or you are anticipating to breastfeed, how to prepare yourself, right? I'm going to talk about my cracked nipples, how I managed that, how I breastfed for 6 months even after going back to work, how I continued pumping in the office, how I used to travel with breast milk bags, and how my breast milk was almost seized at Heathrow Airport in London. I hope that by the end of this series, you are able to learn something that can help you with your breastfeeding journey. And please, if you have someone who is going through anything, just tell them to sit tight and watch out for these videos, because I'm going to be dropping them, and hopefully we're able to support one another. Send me a message if you have questions, because I have been supporting a lot of women since my breastfeeding journey. I had to do a lot of research into breastfeeding, not as a medical practitioner, but as a mother who had gone through a lot in terms of breastfeeding. So that's why I feel like I should share my story, because each time I've shared it with people say, share it. So yes, here I am sharing the story. And again, this is not a lecture. This is just a mother to another mother, or to an intended mother, trying to spread the love and break the silence, and hoping that we can all support one another and raise awareness for breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is beautiful. So see you in the next